Alright, so ASAP Rocky is in trial right now, and it looks like it's about to end, but he has been accused of shooting his friend, who has said that actually the ASAP mob has fallen off. Apparently all the people around have been, they're down horrible, they have nothing left, they're just broke, they're living in a homeless shelter, they just didn't do anything with what they had, and ASAP was being fake, and didn't want to split the bread with them, and this kind of caused a conflict between Rocky and the guy who's accusing him of shooting him, who is ASAP Relly, and this all happened a couple of years ago, but now with the trial underway, there's been a lot of talk because recently ASAP Rocky has a wife. Some of you may know her, maybe you don't. Her name is, I think it might be Rihanna, and a lot of people on Twitter have sparked this discussion saying things like, man, it's so crazy how an actual queen like Rihanna would be with a bum like ASAP Rocky. And the truth is, not to glaze another man or anything, you know my stance on meat riding, but what are you people talking about? It's weird how these people who are supposedly on the side of social progress or whatever still conform to the ideas of a man should be more wealthy or more powerful or more notable than a woman in a relationship, or that's like the normal, that should be the normal standard. It's some sort of weird thing that Rihanna actually has more money and clout than her husband. But the thing is, A$AP Rocky's not actually a bum. I don't even care if people want to point out it's an interesting power couple dynamic, it is. But these weirdos are taking this too far. They're actually making it out to be like A$AP Rocky is a literal who. He's not. He's one of the biggest rappers in New York. If he didn't fall off and drop nothing for the past 7 years, maybe he'd be more important. But at his peak, he did matter. And I honestly feel a way about him specifically because when he dropped that album, I guess he valued other things like fashion and like his image and whatever else over rapping. And I'm not forcing him to do anything. If he wants to not be a rapper anymore, then fine. If he wants to just come once in a while and do these little features, then I'm not mad at that either. But at the same time, I'm kind of going all over the place. But he also tweeted recently being like, maybe next time with the Grammy wins. It's like, what do you mean next time? You just didn't drop any music. You dropped a little single here and there. What was supposed to happen? How would you ever be the person we're all talking about right now if you can't even be bothered to drop your album? He came out when Future and Metro dropped their Drake diss album. He was there in the second round because I guess he had some things to get off his chest. And again, when it comes to the problems between him and Drake, I don't know what happened between them, so I'm not going to take any insight on that. But I'm going to say, why did you wait till now to say something? Talk about this last year. He literally waited until it was like, the coast is clear. Let me come out publicly. Look at this guy who's been dissing me for some time now. And I'm like, I don't know about that either. And he's been teasing this album that he's about to drop for so long. He was saying, oh, don't worry, it's going to come out this August. You know, Augie, it's coming out this August. Just starts to not drop for something or another. And it feels like he's not dropping it because he's afraid of the competition or something. But we can't know for sure why he keeps pushing it back. Maybe it's because of legal problems and stuff. But at the end of the day, this is someone who could have been something. Even if he was a big rapper for the generation, he might not still have overtaken Rihanna. Rihanna actually sold a lot. Rihanna is actually one of the best-selling artists of all time. So that's like a really high feat for him to cross. But still, it's weird how these Twitter losers are speaking about how Rihanna's dating down or something, as if one, they're dating anybody who matters, or two, they themselves matter, or three, they know anything about the insides of any relationship. I'm not just saying this because it's like a male and female thing. Sometimes there'll be men in the comments. There'll be men in tweets being like, why is Zendaya with Tom Holland? Why is like this person with this? Like, you are nobody. You are never gonna get anybody. Speaking of Rihanna herself, one time she was dating a Middle Eastern businessman or something. It made a lot of Negroes on Twitter mad. And I'm like, again, you are never gonna be with her. You do not have any quality that this Middle Eastern man has. You are nothing. So there's no reason for you to be mad about how somebody that is on the other side of the world to you, even if they're in the same country, they're the other side of the world to you. So you are never going to meet them. You are never going to date them, and they were never going to look at you. So stop worrying about who's dating who and worry about chasing a bag or something. But more on the trial, I guess the dispute comes because, as I said before, this guy, A$AP Relly, is claiming that A$AP Rocky shot at him. And his proof is that he has like a grazed knuckles. And A$AP Rocky was caught on camera with a gun. That was enough evidence to indict him and put him to trial and all that stuff. But he's basically claiming that the gun was fake and that he never shot anyone. And to be fair, I can believe either story. Because on one hand, apparently A$AP Rocky was saying some wild things to him. And he was also just dissing the guys he was with. Because A$AP Rocky wasn't alone. He was with A$AP 12y and A$AP Ills. And they both are on A$AP Rocky's side, you know, because they're his guys. and they're saying like, no, he didn't shoot him, all that stuff. So while I can believe it got heated enough for him to pull out a gun and shoot him, because as we know, there was a gun caught on camera, it could also be a fake gun, honestly. Because even in the private text messages between A$AP Rocky and Relly, he is very adamant he didn't shoot him. Maybe he's just smart enough, unlike most other mindless rappers, to know that even text messages can be taken back and looked at in courts. But at the end of the day, so it'd be better to not just incriminate yourself on text. He basically told Relly that if he thinks he shot him, then he should just go to the cops with it, which evidently he did do. And another dimension to this is that even though A$AP Rocky isn't really like a super duper gangster or whatever, they still kind of fall under the streets. So the whole no snitching thing, it still applies. And a lot of people aren't really that mad at A$AP Rocky over all of this because, one, this behavior isn't that uncommon in the rap industry, like shooting other people, whatever that happens. But two, the idea that this guy got shot and went to the cops about it is just something that they can't really abide by their code of standards. But to be fair, A$AP Relly isn't really a rapper either, though. A$AP Relly is just a member of the collective who, according to himself, now makes most of his money off of real estate and stuff. So he doesn't even have the same street code that A$AP Rocky does. But with the trial coming to a close, I'd say it's very unlikely that A$AP Rocky, even if found guilty, faces like extreme penalties for this. At the end of the day, he's a celebrity. They don't face the same consequences as regular people. So even if he's found guilty for this, and if he gets sentenced a couple of years, maybe he gets like 7 years or 10 years or whatever he gets, he's not going to serve the actual 10 years. He's going to get out from parole in way less time than that. And then even if he breaks parole after that, he'll get away with that too. Because these rich people just have a different code from everybody else. Look at Tekashi. He literally admitted to all these crimes, and because he snitched and everything, his sentence got reduced from like 47 years, which again, he was never going to serve anyway. Nobody on that 9-trade gangster trial even served that 47 years. So even if he didn't snitch, he wouldn't have served the whole time. But that being said, he got it reduced down to a few years because of time served. And then on top of that, he keeps breaking parole and getting away with it because these people are just out to a different rule book. But I'd say hopefully whoever's not capping comes out on top. And also that whole previous thing I went on about how you should stop hating on celebrities for who they date. I don't want you to get the wrong impression that I'm saying celebrities are like a whole nother stratosphere of people that are better than they're not better than anybody. They're just people who have money. I'm just saying you'll never meet them. So stop whining or caring about what they do in their private life. Well, unless they committed a crime or something like that.